ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry, faithful of all ages. Welcome to Nerd Sports episode 200. That's right. We're still just as ghetto as we were on episode 1, except we're just a little bit more refined.
We actually have gear now that actually works out for us.
We do, I mean,
You in episode 1, you had your giant beard.
I had my giant beard in episode 1. So, I mean, like 200 weeks ago. I mean, think about that for a minute, guys. 200 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
When you put it like that, it doesn't seem like a long time.
I mean, this has probably been one of the longest meaningful relationships that I've ever had.
To the show or me?
Well, I mean, both. No, I'm just.
We've had episodes without you.
We have, yeah. We've I mean, because life and live sporting events, and I'm just like, you know what? I mean, I'm still here, and I mean, I was on my anniversary trip to Galveston last year, and I still managed to sneak into the comments while I'm at dinner at a very expensive restaurant. So,
Whoa.
That's my dedication right there.
Episode 37, you did in Grammy and Papa's dining room.
I did. Yeah. I mean, that was the early days when David and I were scratching and fighting for every inch of real estate that we could get, just to bring to the single digit masses.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had ups, we've had downs, we've gone sideways and back and forth. I mean, the show has definitely had its growing pains. And hopefully there's still more to come, because I mean, once it starts to become dull and mundane, and I think then that's when it's time to hang up the cleats,
Yeah. It's one of those things. It was a compilation of ideas, and we both started because what it was it's like when with me and Trey, I'm going to start up an episode that's this Tuesday. We're going to start doing episodes of wrestling. I like wrestling.
Speaking of Trey, is he here? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I see his face before I add him to the stage. Come on, Trey.
But anyways, you started talking sports and everything, and I was like, why don't we have a sports show? We'll work on give me a week and I'll work around.
That was my idea, Slick.
We both you was like, hey, I want to do a sports show. It's like, all right, well, we'll do this, and this. So we started spouting out ideas.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, hell, I had this whole idea that I would always wear one of those Hawaiian shirts and have glasses the entire time. That lasted a good how long? I did that for 4 months.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, it was where I had to wear a sports jersey every week, and eventually I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? No, because it gets expensive to try to keep people guessing. So, t-shirts and
those things
shirts, they're not cheap.
Not even the t-shirts are cheap.
No.
So 40, you're wearing a Dallas shirt, Dallas jersey.
Yeah.
That one.
One of my bridal moments.
Come on, Trey. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, buddy. Oh, we got a little bit of connection. Go ahead and just put them in.
Yeah.
Can
you hear the sound of our voices, Trey?
There we go. Letting us down already.
See, even after 200 episodes,
we cannot. The one thing I do like about what we what we did do a little bit different is the weird sport of the week.
Yeah.
I went
So
the whole
speaking of which,
idea
go ahead.
the whole idea of that was they used to do that on like ESPN and everything.
Mhm.
And it stopped being weird sports and just being a sport. Like this week's weird sport of the week is, and we did a one like this, but it's a newer, it's a different part of the trade,
Uh-huh.
but is plumbing competition.
Yeah, God, I remember this one.
No, we did AC.
Was it AC?
Yeah, it was.
That's
It was.
right. It was an HVAC. Yeah, it was an HVAC championship.
It was an HVAC, and I found out after doing all the the research for that, and two, what had happened is they have they're trying to get people to start working trades,
Mm-hmm.
and they started these competitions, and now those competitions are on CBS. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people excited to go. Was that Trey?
It's either that or we're picking up voices from the afterlife. I mean, I'm safe because I've got a ring of salt around the house. So,
yeah. But that's what they're trying to do. I mean, I laughed when I saw it. It's like, ha, ha, ha. And then you start thinking about it and they start talking about it and you actually watch it a little bit.
yeah.
That was their whole thing is they're trying to get people excited to do trade work. I mean, they got those lumberjack matches and everything. He fell out. They have those lumberjack matches. They have the AC. They have welding competitions, all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
If you look into it, but like I said, they're trying to get people excited for the trades. I'm gonna wait until we see a picture.
I'm not getting excited about Trey popping in and out until I see his face. And yes, I know phrasing.
I mean, if you look back, you might see his face if he's popping in and out.
I mean, he's got to take that Super Bowl ring off before we talk. So that's all I'm saying.
I could see the complications of that. Yes.
Yeah. So, was that going to be the weird sport?
Yeah, that's a weird sport. We're done with the weird sport.
Well, moving on with our normal fare. Baseball is in the air, people. Position players, pitchers, catchers have all been reporting to spring training facilities, in either Florida or Arizona. Looking forward to the first sounds of baseball physically being played. Let me see here. And the first scheduled games are not what? There we go. Thursday, the 20th, which is this week. There's the World Baseball Classic qualifier scheduled at 11 Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. South Africa versus Nicaragua. Because I didn't say that. I prepared.
You almost got it canceled.
Yeah. No.
200 show. I was like, oh God.
I should have said like that's the court, and little mustache, right there. That'd have been perfect. Anyway,
yeah.
And then the Cubs are going to face the Dodgers. Camelback Ranch in Arizona. That one is going to be at 2:05 Central Time. It says you can watch on Sports Network LA. But if you get LA's sport networks, fine, great. If not, I would probably invest the $20 a year or $25 a year roughly for the At Bat app on your Google Play or Apple App Store. Totally worth it, especially if you just like to consume baseball in any shape, form, or fashion. Spring training, every game is broadcast. The radio broadcasts have no blackout restrictions, unlike the MLB premium package. Yeah, I mean, I would like to personally get that this year. However, I'm going to go into money saving mode here pretty quick because we're looking at about a year putting this house on the market and finding a bigger place.
Mm.
So yeah, the place that I've got my eye on though has got 3 acres on it. So
Oh, that's nice.
I'm gonna put a nice little I'm gonna put a nice little archery range out back.
Oh, awesome. That'd be nice when I come over.
Yeah, we're gonna have like the deer decoys, with the foam
Those
rubber.
are expensive.
Hey,
But yeah, no, there's all the reason why I haven't bought one yet.
and this particular place, the rules are out there because it does have an HOA, but the HOA is not like stupid expensive like the one that I'm in currently.
Yeah.
You're allowed to bow hunt on your property.
Oh, I would set this shit up.
Dude.
From October.
Oh, there will be a feeder out there. and think that we just won't set up a blind on the back porch.
That would be awesome.
Like, be very quiet.
There's gonna be a hairy, stupid butt. It's gonna be
No, Harry will stay locked up in my bedroom. I promise you that.
Did I ever tell you? Did I ever tell you? I went out with this one guy one time, and I don't know what happened, but the deer got like close to us. And it started eating. We were just feeding it. This dude, without skipping a beat, he's like petting it, then grabs the antlers, takes his knife and slit its throat right in front of me. I was like, oh, geez, God. Most fucking brutal, but it was awesome at the same time.
Like, you were in shock, but you were never more turned on in your entire life.
God, yes.
Well,
I'm trying to I'll get trades.
being a fan of any one particular baseball team at any particular moment in time is not without its share of drama. Well, guess what? Spring training started early, or the drama for the Red Sox at least started early this year. Rafael Devers, who is the statistically worst third baseman in baseball right now, refuses to give up third base for new team member Alex Bregman, who has won Gold Gloves at that position multiple times, unlike Rafael Devers. So Rafael Devers gave an interview today. He's like, that's my position and I'm not going anywhere, right? And then the person asking the questions, the interviewer was like, well, isn't that more of a team decision? Like when his interpreter read the question back to him, he was like, kind of gave him that like, are you fucking retarded look, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
you are an employee, kid. I mean, it's just, when I heard news that the Red Sox were going after Alex Bregman, I legitimately got excited.
Darius got pissed at me. Like he started yelling at me.
Like, it's your fault that we're here.
Well, because he posted a TikTok about like Alex Bregman going to the Red Sox, and I'm like, let's go, and he's like, man, go after yourself. She's like,
wow.
I'm like,
Okay,
somebody's a sore loser,
dude. They're all over the place.
He doesn't even live here. Like, when's the last time he saw the Astros play?
He lives Houston.
So he lives in the area now?
What do you mean now?
Or he's just from here.
He's just. What do you mean now? What?
Has he always lived here?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, his dad lives somewhere else, but
I don't know what's happening.
He's a Houston. He's a Houston person. Okay, that's
he's from the area, but where does he live currently?
Still Houston area.
Well, then maybe set it up to where he comes down and hangs out. So I can put a face to this person's, I don't know, persona. But anyways, that's
Well,
just me
You're not
being a
gonna like-
dad for a
like a
second.
40-year-old.
It's not. You're not gonna like what you see. I'm just giving you that warning.
Does he have blue hair?
No.
Is he
Natural colored hair?
Yeah. Well, he's a redhead.
Is he like
Well,
40?
okay, so it's not like we got to worry about our souls because he doesn't have any.
What? No one's asking the whole questions of he could be 40.
I was getting there.
Okay.
Well, I've known
mean-
him for multiple years now.
Okay,
We've had FaceTime calls.
so is he like a?
This doesn't feel
grooming you,
right.
Colin? I
Do
mean,
you
Okay.
know-
we've been accused of it, but
hold on.
is he?
Hold on. We'll bring it out since it's 200.
He was originally Gabriel's friend, and then and Gabriel introduced us, and then it was just like,
So
That's fine.
nowhere on Bad Touch Bob has Darius touched you.
we've never met in person.
Okay.
It'll- do we have to, what piece of, body part have you seen that you shouldn't see?
Oh my!
We have
Jesus.
that discussion. I'm just making sure everything's all right with you,
Hey,
Colin.
I think that it's completely fair that somebody who seemed to be actively listening to our show and participating in the comment section suddenly disappears off the face of the map. He deserves a degree of crap.
And this is true.
That's the hill I'm going to die on. Absolutely, 100%. All right. Anyway, so with Rafael Devers saying that he's not going to give up third base, it's like, well, that's kind of not your decision, because with the amount of times that he has gotten injured making plays or bad plays at third base, he comes up with a defensive gem every once in a while, but he's not defensively consistent enough to be able to assert that kind of authority. I mean, nowhere in your contract does it state that you're going to play third base. I mean, at all. Look at it this way. You can become a DH permanently. Just work on your offensive stats. No big deal. It's not like you got to worry about maintaining your defensive skill set, because both leagues have the universal DH rule now. So, my thing is that with Rafi Devers, asserting some kind of like ownership over the hot corner at third base, it's like, dude, you've got no leg to stand on.
Has he not been like playing well for a while? Or
no, dude, I'm telling you, for the last 4 years, statistically, he is one of the worst, if not the worst, third baseman in the major leagues.
is this the same dude that keeps on like getting hurt?
Well, okay,
Just drawing
he's got
on
elbow and wrist problems,
yeah.
right? And
Oh.
now his shoulder problems too.
Okay.
He's left-handed, plays third base, which ideally that's a match made in heaven right there. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, no, ideally they want third baseman to be right-handed, right?
Mhm.
Especially because they got to make those long throws from across the diamond kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Infielders normally play first base. That's it, traditionally. And that's just because first base is set up to be more suited for a left-handed person. Now, Rafael Devers' offensive stats still kind of suck. They're there at the bottom of the barrel. And I'm zoomed in enough. You could have walked around the corner there. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So, look at Darius popping his little head in. Well, buckle up there, kid, because we're talking about your boy, who's now our boy. Yeah, that's right. Alex Bregman wearing the number 2. Yeah, I know. And my wife is brokenhearted about it too, because she, being an Astros fan, she's like, we've got nobody but Altuve left. And and Yordan Alvarez with his springtime blowout. You know, I mean it. And Chas McCormick. So it's all good. But Alex Bregman, definitely an upgrade for us defensively. He needs to take over duties at third base. And number 2 was worn traditionally. Don't throw Xander Bogaerts at me. Don't do that. Jerry Remy, the great Rem Dog, wore the number 2, and I think Rem Dog would have been happy about this signing. Anyway,
she might get upset of the other news that's been going around right now. Well, she might be actually happy about it. We'll get into that after.
About Altuve taking reps in the outfield.
Now, this is NFL news.
About Dak? No. If you're talking about the potential for Dak Prescott to get traded somewhere, I have been looking, and I think it's nothing more than just a TikTok rumor right now.
I don't know if it's real yet, but they might be cutting these after like 2025.
Well, here's the thing, and we'll get to that in a second. So let's just kind of put a pin in that. All right, but Devers has got no position. He's got no. He's got no standing. He's got no clout, no weight to pull at all. It would be one thing if he was coming off of a Gold Glove year, but he's not at all. Again, statistically, one of the worst third basemen in the majors. He commits. He is the most error-prone person at that position. I mean, it just. Get yourself healthy. Plan on sitting in for a very long career as a DH. There's nothing wrong with that. Eddie Murray made it to the Hall of Fame as a DH. David Ortiz made it to the Hall of Fame as a DH. It's going to be okay. Let Bregman play his natural position at third and let us go out and make another. I mean, because we're still not. The Red Sox said that they're still not done. They're having what is considered the best offseason that they've had in years. It's being called, some of the pundits over at MLB Network are calling it an A+ offseason. Now, I understand, yes, you can't win the World Series in the spring. You can't. Physically impossible. But with the moves that are finally being made by the front office and general manager Craig Breslow, it's putting us in a position to make a serious run at least a division title, which is what we need. Okay. The fans from Boston, yes, I understand that we are a spoiled bunch. We are. Really after going 86 years without having seen the World Series championship, we get 4 in this century. 04, yeah. 07, 2013, 2018. It's been a minute, though. Okay. We're never going to hang our hats and say, we got 9 World Series. No, we're not going to be like that. We're not Yankees fans. Okay. But Red Sox fans are probably some of the most opinionated, but yet informed fans as it relates to the health of their team.
This is true. I mean, I'm surprised you don't see like a doctor on there talking about, hey, I just did the x-rays of XYZ and he's looking good to play this week.
Darius coming in from left field. Y'all got potential. We know. Trust me. We know. Now, going back to what I was saying, Craig Breslow said that they're not done yet. So they're still trying to figure out a way to pull a trade to get Nolan Arenado. Now, if Nolan Arenado comes in, he is even a defensive upgrade at third base over Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman can still move to third. Arenado takes over duties at third. Trevor Story keeps himself healthy at short. And now, all we need to do at that point, sign Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Here we go. We got ourselves a first baseman. Then we just need to sit there and find a couple of guys that we could, platoon in and out over at second base. I know it's easier said than done, but it is what it is. Now, is it going to require a trade that may let go of a popular up and coming prospect piece? Maybe, but you think about the type of deal that some of these players would end up requiring. Like Nolan Arenado said that he's got, it's been widely advertised that he's got a no trade clause in his contract and he can turn down any trade that he wants to. He said that the only team he'd be willing to waive that clause for was the Red Sox. 100%. I'm on board with that. And it's just the Cardinals are going to have to figure out a way to move him so that way they can start getting some help in some other places, because I don't know if you saw what happened with the Cardinals last year. They weren't the Cardinals. I mean, they were more like the Memphis Redbirds, which is their AAA affiliate. I know. Now you've been educated. But, I mean, Altuve's testing the waters out there in left field for the Astros. I mean, the Astros have picked up, I mean, they moved on for Bregman, obviously. Now that, they're in a position to have to. I mean, they already went out and traded and signed, and, they signed a free agent to play third, and they lost, they traded Kyle Tucker. They lost Ryan Presley to free agency. So, it's funny because Chicago was really going in hot and heavy after Alex Bregman, and they were almost kind of calling it like an Astros reunion, so to speak. And I saw a clip today from Chicago's spring training facility. Ryan Presley was throwing against Kyle Tucker in live batting practice.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. And there was some movement on that fastball. It was kind of nasty. So, but I mean, it's good to see Kyle Tucker swinging a bat, again, putting weight on that knee, things like that. So it's going to be an interesting year, to say the very least, for Chicago. I would probably look for them to very hotly contend for their division this year, honestly. It's gonna give some hope to the people over there on the north side of Chicago. So hey, I mean, just know that playing for the Cubs means one very important thing, that you're going to be playing the shit ton out of some day games when you're at home. So there is that. Let me see here. Aaron Judge is trying to weigh in and sound relevant because he's saying that there's people saying that Soto is giving the Mets, or the Mets are giving Soto the very best chance to win. And so, Aaron Judge, of course, is like, I completely disagree, or I definitely disagree. Well, guess what? Until you learn how to catch a fly ball consistently, Aaron, nobody cares what you think.
This is true.
That's right. I hope that you lay awake in the middle of the night, not because you and your wife just had a brand new baby, which congratulations, by the way. We're not completely classless here at Nerd Sports, but I hope that when that baby's asleep, you lay there in a cold sweat thinking about the fifth inning. Oh yeah, that's right. To say that the New York Yankees shit the bed in that World Series, putting it very mildly. I still feel dirty having rooted for Los Angeles in that World Series, but damn sure wasn't going to root for the Pinstripes. I don't think Satan's willing to renovate my house down there, enough to give me the room that I need to roam around freely with by rooting for you guys. So no, just fuck that and fuck you. That's all I got to say. Let me see here. And then, of course, the Yankees are experiencing their own degree of grief because Stroman, one of their starting pitchers from last year, is coming back off of a pretty lackluster year, and some injury. He refuses to pitch out of the bullpen. He said, "quote I'm a starter, and that's where I'm going to be." Again, you are an employee, kid. You go where the boss tells you to go.
You have some delusions there, buddy.
I mean, you could always ask to be released from your contract, but guess what? you're not going to get what you think you're worth because you'll already put it out there into the universe that you're a quitter when things don't go your way.
No,
And while I'm at it, Rafi Devers, heed that. Learn it, live it, love it, breathe that you're not a quitter, that you are an employee. And if it weren't for the fans putting butts in seats to come watch you commit error after error, you wouldn't be getting paid at all. So think about that and the 200 million reasons why you need to just shut the fuck up and do what you're told.
Don't they just take out loans to pay these players, or does the actual?
A lot of it comes from ticket sales, merchandising, sponsorships help pay for that also. I mean, sponsors being put on the uniforms goes a long way this year, kind of like racing. I mean, the cars are covered in sponsor decals, and that helps pay for the day-to-day operation and race weekend operation for that team.
Or like the LA Lakers wish.com. God, that's hilarious.
Yeah. LeBron's our wish.com, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that one. Anyways, you ready for the NFL news?
NFL news. Let me lead this off here. There was some rumors that Trevor Lawrence was going to be traded from the Jaguars, and more. Hey, guess what? You're an employee. You're going to do what you're told. Department. Trevor Lawrence says, "I'm not going to Pittsburgh." Well, you will if you get traded there.
Here's the funny thing about that, though. There's a couple of these things. This is from Right Way Network, and this is from 3 days ago. Dak Prescott traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, most of this stuff looks.
The only thing I was able to find on that, though, David, was it was a mock draft scenario.
Okay, 2025.
We're not quite to the point where trades are going to become a thing of reality. They exist in the ether only because somebody wrote an article to meet a deadline, and they're like, "I'm going to take the runniest, greenest piece of baby shit that I can find. I'm going to throw it against the wall and see if it sticks." So.
I wonder if
Dan Parr, that's the guy that you're thinking of. He's the one that put this out there initially. And he starts off the article with, quote, "It's still too early in the offseason to have a tight grasp on how things will shake out when round 1 of the 2025 NFL draft gets underway on April 24th. We're a month away from free agency and a couple of weeks from the NFL scouting combine, so why not take some big swings in this exercise of the imagination? I'm projecting 3 trades in the first round, including one that sends the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year to a new home." Boom.
Okay. Because here's another one. Kirk Cousins is being let go from the Atlanta Falcons, and there's he might be going. This is the reason why I would like to wait until March on this stuff.
At this point,
news for us.
Yeah, free agency doesn't start till next month. So, I mean, the only thing that it serves to do is here. I'm just going to change my camera angle here, guys. Give me just a second to fix this. Because
can I go?
Go for it. Go for it. Knock yourself out.
Because this is going to be a while on this one if I do it.
All right, go for it.
I want to talk what happened this weekend.
Here, is that better? Yeah, that's better. Now it looks more like that. Now I can look at my screen.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Yay.
The thing.
We'll get off the NFL because there's really not any news. All of it's speculation.
There we go.
I do want to. I wish Trey was on here. I wish Trey was here doing this. I'm going to show you a little bit of a mock of what happened this weekend. This is it looks like kind of old video and everything, Let me take out
Yeah.
the sound.
For those of you who know, that's slapstick.
Yeah. And this is basically what happened this weekend.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that here in just a second. The one thing I'm excited for this coming year, this coming season, and I'm saying this with all of the love in my heart, and because Darius is currently in the audience, but I can't wait for my 2 season tickets for the Houston Texans this coming season. It's going to be so much fun.
Here's another meme that I found for this. This is they're getting really good with AI nowadays, and this is just
my wife sent me one of these. She sent me this one. As a matter of fact,
Mike, I'm just curious what you thought the 3 fights off the opening couple of face-offs did in terms of setting the tone and message for your team.
Look, President Trump called us in the locker room before the game. He said he'd be watching from the White House and that he.
Okay, that's all we can do on that one. I can't do the whole thing because it's doing YMCA.
Yeah.
Now, now saying that, this is what happened, and we're not going to do the sound. Hopefully, there we go. Boom. This is what happened this weekend. And this is the reason why.
Those brothers, I can never pronounce their names. You know what's funny about that? Their father played for Team USA and beat the shit out of a Canadian himself.
Yeah. Now there's 2 of them. Yeah, I watched that. That was actually really cool information on that one too. That was so hilarious. And I wonder if they're gonna do. No, they didn't do it. Let me see if I can. There we go. Let me see here. This is no, that's not a video. There is a video of the first. There we go. And this is just first 9 seconds of it. Okay. This is hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah.
This is the reason why. No,
yes, that's what happens when you fuck around and boo our national anthem.
Yeah, this is the reason why you don't boo the national anthem. Hold on, let me get back to there's the puck. And they just go at it.
Pisses me off. So, and I've been noticing this a lot at my school.
See, what was funny about this is they showed it the puck being dropped. What was really funny is if you get the wide angle of it, they just like dropped the puck and just dropped everything, just started beating shit at each other.
Yeah.
God, I love America.
What's been pissing me off recently is people just don't stand during the pledge at school anymore. And people also don't stand for a moment of silence at schools anymore.
Well, moments of silence, yeah. I mean, I can understand sitting as long as you're reflecting or you're praying, but not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance or standing for the national anthem. Dude, it irritates me when I go to live sporting events and I see dudes standing around, or people just in general standing around with their hats still on their heads while the national anthem is playing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I don't give 2 shakes of a rat's dick what your views are. You need to be respectful. 100%. I get that, you know, we've had men and women sacrifice and pay the ultimate sacrifice, you know, for your ability, for you to have the ability to look like a complete horse's ass in public. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to exercise that right. So I don't know. That's what I've got for right now, and I'm like, ugh. Let me see here.
But what's really funny about this though is like last time something like this just remind me of like the 76 Flyers when they just totally destroyed the Russian team like horribly to the point to where after the third inning,
The third period.
the third period. On the third period, the Russians weren't coming back on the ice until someone said, "Oh, well, we're not going to pay you then." Then they got back on the ice. You know, capitalism and shit.
But really, well, without Trey here, we can't really do a whole lot of wrestling stuff. Plus, you guys are going to do a dedicated show for that.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not gonna steal from that content. So, Colin, are you ready?
You're
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Spartan Colin, I hope you're bringing the smoke tonight. Someone get me a joke.
I would just like to clarify. These are jokes, not dicks. Don't take them too hard.
Okay. Disclaimer has been put out there. Go ahead. Wait. They're not racist.
No.
They're not ethnic.
No.
Okay. We don't really give a shit about ableist jokes either. So go for it.
What's the difference between a hospital and a kindergarten? When you have a stroke at a hospital, they save your life. When you have a stroke at a kindergarten, you go to jail.
Oh. I'm gonna tell that one I sent you earlier today.
Yeah, it's the next one. Send.
Okay, good. Go for it.
Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle? Because his wife died.
I told that one to my wife. She stood there. She was like, "Ooh, I do."
It took my brain to process it for like 5 seconds, and I was like, "Oh wait, okay."
Because she was like, "It comes in cans too," and I'm like,
Think about it.
you can see the light bulb kick on.
Now, these next jokes do not represent the beliefs of the Angry Me production.
I like where this is going. Giggity,
Hence
giggity,
going forth.
giggity.
Also, okay, you know, I'll save that joke for last. Here, I'll do. What is the female equivalent to a teabag? Flappuccino.
Yeah.
Now, as I promised, I went back, and the first time I told a joke on Nerd Sports was on episode 48. I went back, I found the joke.
Okay.
It's
So
not-
this
it's-
is the first joke.
Yeah, it's awful. It's not even that funny, but I'm gonna tell it.
Okay. Go for it.
If you call a woman beautiful, she'll forget the next day. If you call her fat, she'll remember for the rest of her life. You know, they say elephants have a really good memory.
I get it. I get it.
See, not
No,
Not a-
see, because as a married man, that one hits just a little bit differently.
I bet it does if you agree on it.
It does. The way that one hits feels more like a pillow hovering, just being smashed into your face.
Or a concussion.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the way concussions feel, so yeah. Okay, got any more for tonight? Nope.
Slipping out through the fog of war, this Spartan continues the fight. Your souls have become collateral damage in the battle against the flood of moral supremacy. Leave your expectations at the door on your way out and marvel before the pillar of tactical prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
Sony shit the bed again.
What?
Yeah, so Sony shit the bed again. You people just couldn't play the Elden Ring beta on PS5.
I forgot that came out.
Oh,
I
okay.
ended up getting like Civilization 7 this weekend.
Well, we'll get to the nerd stuff here in just a few minutes. So
yeah.
Racing's back. See, this would be the part.
Dude. Okay. I love the stuff that came out this week for NASCAR, and mind you, I'm not as big as a fan as Johnny is for NASCAR, but the stuff that came out this weekend, because makes me proud to be American.
I hate that.
What?
I hate that song. That I'm proud to be an American.
Nobody cares about your opinions, really. I mean,
no, God bless the USA. That song can choke on a dick because, dude, I am so sick of hearing Lee Greenwood fucking sing it.
I wonder how much he makes just doing that song each
dude
year.
He's probably like Kenny Loggins with Danger Zone, man. Every time somebody mentions the song or plays it on the air, he pays for a new hot tub. So, it's like that Family Guy skit. Or no, it was what show was that? An American Dad skit? I think it was. Or no, it was Family Guy. Like they're at Kenny Loggins' house and somebody said Danger Zone, right? And so he's like, oh, wait, hold on a minute. And a helicopter drops off another hot tub on his deck and he goes,
oh, it was ring cutaway.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so Daytona International Speedway, the world center of automotive racing. Speed Weeks concluded with last night's Daytona 500. Oh, man. Okay, so for the first time in history, a sitting U.S. president attended his second Daytona 500. Reagan saw one. We know that Bush W. saw one at least part of one. Back in 2004, whenever Dale Earnhardt Jr. won that race. But Donald John Trump, the Honorable Donald John Trump, flew into Daytona. Air Force One made a pass over the speedway and then landed at the airstrip next door. The motorcade came onto the track surface. And the president, in the back of his limousine, the Beast, did 2 laps around the speedway, leading the cars to the green flag.
And he did a round with fucking Air Force One too.
Yeah, he did. He spoke to the drivers on the radio from his car while they were on the track, which was cool for a lot of guys. Before that, he got out, he mixed it up. He was out walking around on the infield, obviously security keeping everybody at bay. A lot of drivers got to speak with him, shake his hand. I mean, it was just a very proud moment for a lot of those drivers, which was a very cool experience. But the race itself, we got 8 laps into it, and then it was red flagged for 3.5 hours because of rain. Which, to me, I'm like, okay, the Daytona 500 should be run at night anyway. It really should. And a lot of the drivers are the same opinion that these big races, especially the Daytona 500, needs to be run under the lights. And I'm all for that. Track temperatures are cooler, which means the cars are going to have more grip, which means the tires are going to stand up longer. You're going to get more speed. Personally, I do not like the way that drafting races like Daytona and Talladega have gone, where they've gone the way of fuel conservation. It's like, oh, hey, we need you to save fuel, save fuel, save fuel. Well, that's why you're seeing that 3-wide racing. It's like, oh yeah, sure, it looks cool, but when you're running wide open, you have to actually make decisions on, giving up that track position just to save some fuel. You can drop 3-4 positions back, as long as you can find a place in line to duck back down into, you'll eventually find your way back to the front, especially if your car is good enough. But the guy that's at the front of the line is always punching the biggest hole in the air, and you're going to use more gas doing that than the guys behind you. That's just the way drafting works. Anyway, so we started off Friday night with the Fresh from Florida 250 for the Craftsman Truck Series race. As soon as my internet decides to play along here.
You want to know how much money he makes off of that song? Per appearance, though, Lee Greenwood makes $50,000 to $150,000.
Wow.
I hate that song so much, dude. Oh my god.
Come on. Why is the internet? I know that I
Did you? Oh, there he goes.
Okay, good. I thought it was.
The 100th episode, and we have internet problems. 1 with Trey and 2 with you. That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's real fucking funny. Okay, so
If we get
Craftsman, hey,
real quick.
ceasefire.
No. I want to chime a little bit.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down! No!
There we go. Thank you.
There we go. So Corey Haim in the number 11 Toyota Tundra took home the first victory of the year for the Craftsman Truck race. Craftsman Truck guys. Frankie Muniz of Malcolm in the Middle. His first full season as a driver in the Truck Series, came home 10th at Daytona.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I flipped out. I was like, what's going on with that? But
and you want to talk about his post-race interview? He was over the moon excited. I mean, coming home 10th at Daytona. Come on. I'm rooting for this kid. I mean,
is he gonna? Okay, I know they're supposed to do a reboot of Malcolm in the Middle.
That may occur in between races, in between media, or in between sponsor commitments.
Yeah,
I mean, being a full-time driver, the Craftsman Truck Series is only like 24, 26 races.
So he's a full-time driver. Oh my,
full-time professional race car driver now. So good on him. I'm going to be following Frankie Muniz all season long, just because I want to see him. I want to see him excel. I want to see him graduate to the Xfinity Series. I want to see what he can do there. He's going to be racing in the Craftsman Truck Series for at least a year or two. If he gets to go up, if he can find a ride in some good equipment for the Xfinity Series, I say go for it. Take that leap. I mean, do what you need to do. Will we ever see Frankie Muniz in the Cup Series? I don't know. He's definitely got some talent, at least, to bring something home 10th, at Daytona in the trucks. I mean, the trucks are the Wild West. I mean, the Truck Series is definitely the Wild West. I mean, they do a lot of short track racing and things like that. I mean, you want to talk about people just having their fenders beat off of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how well he performs with the adversity that the Truck Series is going to throw at him, because the rules in the garage don't seem to really apply to the Truck Series, and they tend to police their own. So he's either going to become very well liked because of his personality and his ability to work well with other drivers on the track, or he's going to find himself DNFing a lot because his truck's being put into the one wall or the other. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, I am rooting for the kid 100%. And then we're going to move on to the Xfinity race, which was it was the, come on, you're already on the page. Fucking load. Hello.
Hey, be easy with it. Last time it kind of froze you for
United
a minute.
Reynolds 300. And then bippity boppity boo. Oh, really? Come on. It's wanting to load. It's really wanting to load here. You're only going to give me the winner of that race? What the actual hell? There we go. There we go. Okay, so Jesse Love in the number 2 Chevrolet came home with the victory on Saturday night, followed by Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Carson Quapple, Taylor Gray, Harrison Burton driving the 25 Ford. Let me see here. Some of the notables. Your reigning series champion, Justin Allgaier, racing for JR Motorsports, came home 18th. Let me see here. Yeah. But then we're going to move on to the main attraction, the Daytona 500, the 56th running of the Daytona 500. This race, it was all about the Fords. It was about the Fords and the Dark Horse Mustangs and their ability to just drive anywhere that they wanted to, with or without help. Arguably, the fastest driver on the track last night was Joey Logano, but as Kurt Busch so poignantly pointed out after being released from the infield care center, the fastest car on the track was in a hurry to get to the wreck. So, the thing about Daytona and any restrictor plaque, any super speedway, they used to be called restrictor plate tracks because they used to have restrictor plates on the air intake. But anyway, the old adage is that it's not if the big one occurs, but when. And so it's about being able to place yourself at the right place at the right time, and being able to find the right dancing partners out there on the track when you're traveling close to 200 miles an hour, inches off of each other's doors. There are guys like Kyle Busch who have now had 20 attempts to win the Daytona 500 and have failed. We thought that Kyle Busch had a really good shot at it last night. He was running third when Joey Logano started a wreck that took Kyle Busch out. With like 8 laps to go. And I really hope that this is not going to be Kyle Busch's last year. I want to see him make another attempt at winning the Daytona 500, and I would like to see him win it next year. I would have liked to have seen him win it this year. I would have been completely okay with that. And that's a lot coming from somebody who, as myself, is a lifelong Earnhardt fan. Kyle Busch obviously became the bane of a lot of people's existences in the NASCAR world, because the guy has over 200 victories across the 3 different touring series that NASCAR offers on the national scale. And to say that the talent coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada is not good would be like trying to say that the bathroom doesn't stink after having to take a beer shit at the end of a long night of drinking. Okay.
Especially if you have Chinese food too.
Chinese food or Taco Bell, for crying out loud. That's the best weight loss program in the world. All right. But all that being said, once the Fords kind of wrecked themselves or got wrecked out because of Joey Logano. Yeah, I'm hanging that on you, Alopecia boy. Mr. I'm the defending champion. Whatever. The Toyotas started to populate the top 10, and it looked like it was going to be a Toyota show right there at the end of the race. And then for whatever reason, almost every one of the Toyotas that were left in the field got taken out, along with a lot of other people with like 5 or 6 laps left to go. And yeah, so they well, you know, it was the wreck with 8 laps to go that set it up for the Toyotas to win, to include 3-time winner Denny Hamlin. And everybody knows, if you watch the show for more than 5 minutes, knows exactly how I feel about Denny Hamlin. Yeah. Kind of like Scotty K Fitness with V-Shred. Literally, fuck that guy. Okay.
Love that guy's videos. He's so funny.
Yeah, I love that guy. Fellow infantryman, as a matter of fact. But with that being said, you know, NASCAR set itself up for an overtime finish, which is normally a green-white checker situation. All the leader has to do after the white flag has been taken is just not wreck, because any flag after the white flag's been taken ends effectively and officially ends the race. So the white flag was taken. They're going into turn 3. The leaders get squirrely. William Byron is sitting back in 6th place. The first 5 cars in front of him start spinning and wrecking, and somehow he manages to squeeze through. He goes up against the wall, against the better judgment of his spotters, and he squeezes through. And he probably had about 1.5 feet to spare, but at about 180 to 200 miles an hour, 1.5 feet might as well be an inch and a half. But William Byron squeezes through in the lead. NASCAR does not throw the yellow flag. Okay. Like at all. Not that it would have done any good, because again, white flag had already been taken. So all he had to have done was just beat the 2nd place car, which at the time was Tyler Reddick. All he had to do was beat him back to the line. And he did. For his 2nd consecutive Daytona 500. 2nd consecutive. And I'm sitting there watching this race last night, and I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. You know, and like I see the wreck happening. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? How the fuck did that happen? I mean, and if you listen to the in-car audio from William Byron, as soon as he crosses the finish line and he's going into turn 1, he's like, how the fuck did that happen? He's like, let's go, boys, you know, and it just sank in. It's like he's back-to-back Daytona 500 champion. You know, like I said, there's guys who go their entire career without winning that race. And that is a crown jewel of NASCAR right there. I mean, it's part of the Grand Slam almost, right? It's the biggest race of the year, and it's the first race of the year. You know, it's kind of like that big welcoming back party, you know, that NASCAR likes to throw for its fans. But one of the feel-good stories was Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion, now majority owner in his team, Legacy Motorsports, came home 3rd in his number 84 Shaq-sponsored Toyota. I mean, he was caught up in a wreck earlier in the night. They fixed the damage on his car. They got him back out on the track. And it was just so cool to see Jimmy Johnson do well, place well, because in these next generation cars, ever since Jimmy Johnson retired, it just seemed kind of like a futile attempt at staying relevant. You know, like, hey, I'm just out here so I don't get fined kind of a thing, because he was legitimately trying to figure out how these cars drive, because the cars that he's used to driving drove off of the right front, whereas these cars drive off of the right front, you know, the right rear. And And so it's just having to find that balance, right? Just to be able to dive back into the corners and get the car to do what it needs to do. And it looked like he was starting to figure it out a little bit. He's going to be running a limited schedule again this year. But the one thing that I was just absolutely happy to see, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Junior Motorsports fielded for the first time their very first Cup Series entry, the number 40 Travelers Whiskey, sponsored by Chris Stapleton car. They tapped Justin Allgaier, the defending Xfinity champion who drives for JR Motorsports, to drive this number 40 car. And Dale Jr. told him jokingly, he's like, if you can't bring this thing across the checkered in one piece, don't come back down pit road, right? And he got kind of involved in a wreck earlier in the night. There was no discernible damage done to the car. Just, they got rear-ended pretty hard and shot kind of forward a little bit. There was no damage to the car as far as aerodynamically was concerned. And he stayed relatively competitive for majority of the night. He hung out towards the back a little bit. I don't think I saw him fall any further than 25th or 26th, but at Daytona, when the pack's all up to speed, the difference between first place and 26th place is usually less than a second because they're all packed up together, traveling at, again, 200 miles an hour. So, things at those types of racetracks can change in the blink of an eye. But he brought it home ninth. Dale Earnhardt and his sister Kelly's first foray into the Cup Series as owners netted them a top 10 finish. And you want to talk about the celebration going on in that pit stall, it might as well have been a win. And Chris Stapleton, the country artist who helped sponsor that car, did not leave the pit box all night long. He stayed up there with the headset on, watching telemetry from the car, and just stayed absolutely engaged and glued to that track. He was not leaving until that race was done. Do we have our first spam comment there?
Yeah, it's on Twitch.
Wow. Okay. Look at us with the spam. Hey, look at that. And you get free advertisements. So,
there we go.
We'll take home some of those royalties.
Okay, how did you block the people again?
That is a good question here. Hold on a second. Hold on here. No. Stop clicking on it. Damn it.
I'm not clicking on it.
Okay. I don't know. I can't remember.
You did it. You did it.
She brought that up this weekend too, because Jake, my stepson, was thanking me for letting him be on the show Friday, and I was just like, I said, well, it's all good. As long as because he was actually the thing they were talking about podcasts that they watch, right? And I was like, you're listing off all these podcasts, but you did not mention the most important one. He's like, well, I'll watch clips, and I'm like, well, it's fine. It's not like your mom watches either. My wife jumped on me, dude. She's like, I watch your show. I just don't watch it live. And I'm like, okay. She goes, besides that, and you blocked me that one time. I was like, because I didn't know who you were. I thought you were just being a troll. I'm like, look, I ain't trying to hear this crap.
Okay. We can do it on YouTube, but we can't do it on Twitch.
All right, well, screw it.
But you
Whatever.
you can ban them.
It doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, so let me give kind of a quick rundown of the top 10 here. So again, William Byron for the second year in a row, brought home the win in the Daytona 500, followed by Tyler Reddick, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek. Now it is worth mentioning that 4 out of the top 5 were Toyotas. Toyota's got something figured out. Ford has really got something figured out. They just need to be able to finish these races. That's all I'm kind of trying to say. Alex Bowman from Hendrick Motorsports pulled up 6th. Ryan Blaney in a Ford 7th. Austin Cindric in a Ford 8th. Justin Allgaier, like I said previously, in the number 40 Travelers Whiskey Camaro for JR Motorsports came home 9th. Chris Buescher in the 17 Ford 10th. Michael McDowell 11th. Eric Jones 12th. Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, Riley Herbst, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Justin Haley, and Kyle Larson round out your top 20. One thing, Ryan Preece in the number 60 Ford for RFK, which is Roush Keselowski Motor Racing. Him and the backstretch at Daytona do not get along at all. There was a clip from a couple of years ago where you see a car tumbling down the back straightaway. That was Ryan Preece, because he went sliding across the infield grass on the backstretch, and the rims caught and dug into the grass, and so it sent him flipping through the air. Well, they paved it just for that reason, so that way cars wouldn't do that again.
By the way, I just banned him. So
this year, he went flying again. He got hit. The front end of his car got jumped up somehow. I don't know if it was the exhaust getting bent and the car launching off of that, but the car, he was basically doing a wheelie for a quarter mile down the back straightaway, and he probably could have landed it and gotten control back of the car and saved it if the car had not turned sideways, increasing the area for the air to get up underneath that car. So the air pressure was higher underneath the car and lower over the top of the car, and everybody knows that is a recipe for lift. And so the car took a tumble, slid on its roof for a little bit, went back up the track a little bit, and caught just enough friction to flip the car back over. He put the window net down immediately, which is the universal signal that hey, I'm okay, to the emergency workers and to the race teams. And he was able to walk away from that wreck. And it's a testament to how safe these cars have gotten and NASCAR's dedication to safety. I mean, they've even gotten some drivers to wear a mouthpiece that's got transponders in it to help them study the effect of wrecks. Because even with the Hans device, which is the head and neck restraint system, and with the custom, carbon fiber seats that basically hug the driver, 5-point harnesses, the whole 9 yards. Drivers are still getting concussions, and so they're wanting to see what the effects of these wrecks are, because they're trying to figure out ways to make the car safer. So, I'll be interested to see if any of the drivers that were in some of the bigger wrecks were wearing that mouthpiece, and how it affected them, and how those results from that telemetry is going to help as far as like progressing the safety of the sport. But it's definitely, I mean, this is going to be a fun season to watch. I'm excited for it, and so we're really going to see some things that are going to be advantageous to a very productive season, I think. So let me get back to the homepage here. See the schedule. All right. Next week, it is going to be held in Atlanta It is going to be the Ambetter Health 400, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Hampton, Georgia. It's going to be 260 laps or 400.4 miles. It will be on Fox TV. It will also be on PRN, which is the Performance Racing Network, or you can catch it on your Sirius XM channel 90 NASCAR radio, or your Sirius and Sirius XM app on your mobile devices or your phones. That is going to be held next Sunday, February 23rd at 2:00 Central Time. That's going to be fun because Atlanta Motor Speedway is also a drafting track where it's basically a super speedway, but unlike Talladega, unlike Daytona, where you've got the long straightaways on the backstretch, you really don't have any time to rest. I mean, there are drivers, depending on how far back in the pack they are at Daytona and Talladega, on the backstretch, they can actually take their hands off the wheel for a second and kind of like stretch their hands out a little bit before they have to put their hands back on the wheel because the air keeps them in line. At Atlanta, it's a 1.5 mile track with increased banking in the turns that allow them to get up to those speeds. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the new package handles there. But it's going to be race number 2 of the season. And again, so it's going to be Sunday at 2:00 Central, 3:00 Eastern. It's going to be on Fox, PRN, or Sirius XM. So just I'm going to have to listen to it in the car, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm trying to think of what else here. I was offered tickets to go to the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix there in Austin at the Circuit of the America, the NASCAR Series road race.
How are you offered?
VetTix actually reached out.
Oh, I thought you were.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to pass on that one because I've got without disclosing too much information to the general public here, I've got to fly to Arizona on the 28th of this month, and then I'm driving back on the 1st, and then I'm gonna basically, once I get home, I'm going to be studying and helping my in-laws kind of get settled, back here. And then I've got 1 week of school before spring break happens, at which point I'm going to go get Colin and Reagan. And yeah, that's going to be fun. So that means March 10th, Colin's going to be in studio. It's always a good time when Colin's in studio. So
yeah, because you never figure out how to use the mic.
Well, I think at this point I'm probably just going to cast him upstairs to his room, and he can pop in pop in that way, because he is bringing his laptop with him after all.
Okay, that'll make it easier for everybody.
You are. So let's see here. We went over the fact that this is our 200th episode.
Yeah. And we might be doing another show. And I'm sorry if anybody started watching the Psychos and Sociopath stuff here recently. I'm done with it. I'm not gonna do the Psychos.
Well, you know what? I think
it has been our flagship for a while.
Yeah, it was the flagship for a long time. So I think instead of retiring it completely, I think we maybe should just do I don't know, once a month special.
I might be able to do that. It's just
because doing it as a once a month, what I can do is that'll enable me to help you with the research, and then we can get on there and we can do that episode together.
Yeah. It's just it's not even the research, doing the research on some of the stuff too. It's just I really don't.
Well, it does. After a while, it kind of burns you out. It really does. Well, what were you saying, Colin?
So I would love to participate, dude. Serial killer stuff is so interesting. It
is interesting to a point, But
Well,
I mean, the newest thing that just came out was they found who Jack the Ripper was.
Oh yeah, it was fun because like nobody cared.
And well, a lot of people cared.
No, not okay. No, let me rephrase this. It didn't blow up as much as people that like released it were
Oh
expecting.
yeah. Well, I was doing. I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, how long does DNA last? It's like 500 years where you can pick up the strand and everything. And even in that case, you're looking at trying to find out family members of the DNA strand, but it's weird. But anyways, no, we could probably land this plane. Are you gonna be able to do Friday? Or is this gonna be me and Bill?
I probably do it from the car again.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, because Friday I've got to drive all the way up to Wichita Falls this weekend to get the boys. So I'll have them here this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it from the car. I'm just gonna need you to just shoot me a link so that way, I can do it from the app, and then everybody's just gonna have to suck it up and listen to the background noise because I'm gonna be on my CarPlay. So
Yeah. Anyways,
with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, 200 weeks. I think we only took 1 or 2 weeks off over the course of this 200.
no, we didn't.
We didn't? I swear there was a week where we didn't do one.
The only reason why I know this is because we're 1 week ahead of Unsubscribed Podcast.
Okay. Except we don't have.
They just did their 200, and the other reason why they did their 200 before us is they did an extra episode.
Okay.
That's the reason why I know.
Well, for the last 200 weeks, you have invited us into your ear holes. You've invited us into your homes, your places of work, whether or not they were vape shops or the cab of your truck as you're driving down the road. Looking at you, Maria, by the way. Regardless as to how you're consuming the content, we hope that we've been entertaining. We hope that we're going to continue to be entertaining. We hope that you continue to come along for the ride, and get engaged in the comment section. We really want you to be a part of the show. We really want you to be more active in the comments. Crowd work, I think, is a really underrated portion of what we do, and it would really go a long way towards helping us to expand what we're able to bring to you and how we're able to bring it to you. So but with that being said, go ahead, David.
I'm David Dickerman.
Excuse you? I go first.
No.
Dickhead. I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Colin Skelton.
And for the 200th time, you have become privy. You've become indentured, willingly or unwillingly. You're here. You might as well cozy up and stay. And in the immortal words of the lesbian pirate Bearded Clam, scissor me timbers. Arr. Get out of here.